Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. My name is Shanda. I'm known as Stitching in Idaho on FlossTube and Instagram. Although Instagram I'm just not posting as much. I'm kind of trying to take a social media diet maybe for the summer. But I have a little bit of everything today. I have an FFO, I have Happy Mail, I have a little bit of haul, I have lots of whips that I'm working on for the summer. I have some older quilting vintage books that I want to share with you. So welcome to Stitching in Idaho. Okay, sorry, I was a little bit distracted there when I first started. My husband is loading the four-wheeler in the back of my truck, and we don't have the right proper equipment up here, so he's got it backed against a little bit of a hill, and we're using some big boards to try and get it in the back of my truck. So always have to watch to make sure there's no accidents, right? Okay, my one FFO. I showed you this as an FO last time, but I finally found a cute little frame for it. This is from Blackbird Designs, a schoolgirl's needlework. Let me see if I can get, there we go, the glare off of it. This is called Henna's Small Basket. And I'm very happy. It's just got a regular little frame with a easel. I'm going to put it in my bookcase. So I've got something there too. See if I get that glare off of it. I need to recenter it though. I can tell that it's a little bit off kilter, so I need to recenter it and tack it down and lace it around the back. Anyway, there it is. Glad this one is done, a small one. Next I'm going to go on to a little bit of Happy Mail. In my last video, one of my whips is Brenda Gervais' Cutting Paper Snowflakes. And Bonnie in Massachusetts contacted me. She wanted to know where I got the fabric from. And it was 28 count River Rock Lugana. And you'll see it here in a minute. And I swapped. She called Maggie's on Maine and they didn't have any. So she asked me, she couldn't find it anywhere. And she really wanted to do a project with it. So I was happy to help Bonnie out. And we swapped. She sent me a piece of 40 count Wren, I want to say, by Picture This Plus. And I sent her a piece of that 28 count River Rock Lugana, and I was happy to help her out. But thank you, Bonnie. I love, it's almost like a great big FlossTube when you exchange things and help people out and share different things. It's almost like a great big pen pal network. It's fun to get that Happy Mail, not only stuff that you've purchased from different stores and different things, but just to exchange with fellow stitchers in the mail. I just think that's really fun to see where everybody lives and just what they're working on and how you can help them out. It's a good kind of feeling. And then my friend Lisa, who hooked a rug for me in Wisconsin, sent me, we're working on Grateful, Thankful, Blessed together. It's another Brenda Gervais pattern, and I don't have that one with me today. That's going to be my fall project. We're working on that together, and she shared some of the silks with me because last time I had mentioned I didn't have any silks. I didn't know that I wanted to start working with silks, but she sent me two that were needed for that project. She also sent me a red and a green needlepoint silk. I've just never worked with silk, so here's, I'm going to see if I can hold it against my shirt. Red and green little silks. She sent me a beautiful card I think that's the best part, is seeing everybody's handwriting and just getting those warm notes in the mail. Then she sent me a Remember Me Reward of Merit Blackbird design pattern. And she sent me a piece of 40 count Country Mocha Newcastle linen. It's a fun little piece. So thank you, Lisa, for that. And thank you, Bonnie. I'm glad I could help out. And those two fun little sticky nails. Sorry if you hear clanking in the garage. Okay, let's move on to whips. According to my book, I have been very busy. Very, 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 very busy. I also need to report that last time I did have Cherry Hollow Farm done, but it's at my framers. So you'll see that when it gets back, but I didn't have that even as an FFO last time because it was off being framed. But yes, I have been very, very busy. My first whip is, and this is just in a regular plastic Amazon bag. The rest of them are all in nice bags. Feathered Nest Pin Book from Stacy Nash Primitives. This was a mania start for me in 2020. But if you look at the back of this, I love the back of this needle book, pin book. It looks like an old coverlet, and that's why I love it. I just love it. With the bird and the strawberries there on the front. Yeah, there's another bang. Sorry. My husband putting the boards away from the four-wheeler load. And I restarted this because I didn't like the fabric it was on. But it is now on 32 count linen fog by Picture This Plus. There's my, none of these are ironed. Sorry, my iron is down right now. My Peter Rabbit needle keep, but there it is. Again, this is on 32 count linen fog by Picture This Plus. It's a nice white, neutral, really, really pretty. But there's only, one of my favorite things is there's only about 4 or 5 colors here. So let me show you this again. You see that? The colors. I'm just into color. That's why I like quilting. Quilting for me is the color and the feel of the fabric. You know, you run your hand down the fabric. It's just awesome. Okay. Okay, so my next whip is in my hedgehog bag. I love hedgehogs. This is the 2006 Birds of a Feather Blackbird pattern that I'm working on. I've had this originally since I worked at the quilt store and purchased it. And this one I got done. My DMCs are kind of a mess because I am doing this one in DMC. This was back before I really knew how to make my DMCs all the same. And this has my tooth needle minder on it from Becky. But here's my start. I might go like this. I'm working on the basket down here. Here's my tooth from Becky. And these are my colors. This is one sampler that I want to get done this summer. I just love the colors. I'm not too keen on that red, but I'm just starting on that basket down there, so. Stuff is falling. This next one is what I consider my TV project or my car project because once I get it outlined, it's kind of mindless. This is Heartstring Sampleries, Beth Twist Schoolhouse Coverlet Drum, and this was a mania start for me. Once you get that house all outlined, or that schoolhouse, you can just whip this one. I, however, though, am doing mine in DMC 221. This is a really sad little start, but I did work on this the other night. If you look at the home page to Dying to Stitch, is it Dying to Stitch? Yeah, I'm sure it's Dying to Stitch. This coverlet drum is on their homepage, and it's done in reds, and it is simply stunning. There we go. Sorry if this light, I'm under fluorescent light, but we'll see how it goes. Anyway, there's that. Schoolhouse. See, I'm hoping to get that one done in August. My husband is a school teacher. He teaches auto shop, one of those last dying art. But because of that, I have never had a repair bill. Not for a washer or dryer that is broken, not for a dishwasher, a vacuum cleaner. A funny quick little story is he just broke his chainsaw. And he got that chainsaw in 1995, and he is still, I can order a part for it. 1995 would be 26 years old. He ordered a part for it and fixed it. So our repair bills are next to none. But that's back to the schoolhouse drum. That's kind of why I'm finishing it, is he will start school back up in August. And there we go again with another scroll year, right? Okay, this next one is one I'm working on from the Heart Needle Art by Wendy. It's my Jobiana 1841. And I'm stitching this 1/1 on 28. So it's going to be really small. 1/1 on 28 count. Vintage Smoky White Casual Linen. I got a little bit more of the alphabet done. It is in my red, white, and blue bag for the summer. This sampler is just knock it out of the ballpark. Let me show you the colors here really quick. I always forget to do that. Why do I forget to do that? And here are the colors for that. This is beautiful. Just a beautiful, beautiful sampler. I told Wendy she really knocked it out of the ballpark with this one. I think this is understitched right now. It's a beautiful, beautiful sampler. Two more. It's in my Holly Hobby bag. I made this one, and I made one for my girlfriend Nicole. Paper snowflakes. I got some done on this at my last stitch in. That dress is pretty massive. This is the 28 count River Rock Lugana that I cut it in half and I sent it to Bonnie in Massachusetts. They go like this. The only thing with this one is, because I'm stitching it 1/2 on 28, you can't really see her scissors. She's holding scissors, and so I'm going to go back with a darker color. Let me show you that. See, she's holding some scissors, and you can't really see those scissors. So I'm going to go back with a little bit darker. This one is, I'm stitching with overdyes, the called for overdyes. So yeah, my Mrs. Tiggly-Winkle, is that her name? From Beatrix Potter. I'm stitching with this with all the called for overdyes. And that 28 count River Rock Lugana again is a piece, part of the piece that I sent Bonnie in Massachusetts. Okay, and the last one is my one red thread before bed, I think is what Lori from Mischievous Stitches is calling it, because I don't get it done in the morning, is collection of Redwood. This is by JBW Designs. And mine is on 20 count hand-dyed Hazelwood Ada fiber on a whim. And it's got some incredible modeling to it. Love it. My Betsy Ross needle minder. And I'm stitching this one on my scroll frame. So, this one was a gift from my friend Cheryl. So I'm being in compliance and working on my red work. Okay, three other sections left, I guess I should say. Let me do 3 previous stitches that I dug out of the archives. This one was fall of 2008. And I remember it's from Birds of a Feather. I will put it across the screen here. I did change number 10. I think number 10 said something about a death to be told or something. And I did not like that. And in 2008, my husband took me back to Vermont, New England states, all the New England states. And I just love Vermont. So I changed it to 10 for a Vermont church bell. Love this frame. This is from Eastside Moldings. I framed this one myself. I called and just had them make me a frame. It doesn't have any glass on it. So I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do with this. If I'm going to deframe it and turn it into something or just keep it the way it is. I don't know. But you know what? It's called Counting Crows. Now that I think about it. Birds of a Feather, Counting Crows. It says 1 for sorrow, 2 for mirth, 3 for a wedding, 4 for a birth. Those are all happy, right? 5 for silver, 6 for gold, 7 for a secret not to be told, 8 for heaven, 9 for hell. And then number 10 said something about a death. I can't even remember what it said. But I put 10 for a Vermont church bell because it rhymed. Anyway, there's that. 2008, an oldie. And then this next one is from the same lady. Part of it is from, this one is from 2006, I want to say. I didn't write on the back of this one. Well, it has a box on here that's got a date stamp of 2008. So my daughter was in high school and I would sit and stitch on this during one of her classes where she was needing me to give her a ride. Anyway, it's kind of a band sampler per se. It's from roughly here up is Abigail Stone from the same person who did Miriam Dowd. Linda Gillian, Primitive Things, and her chart is called Abigail Stone. But because I had this frame, it was a thrift store find, and I just loved this frame, so you can see it without a glare. I wanted to make this longer and make it fit this frame. So this is what I came up with. Oh, the glare. I'm sorry. Let me go this way. It's not the sun. It's something else. Anyway, I just kind of made it up from here down. I just stitched. Perhaps maybe like the girls would have done in the 17 or 1800s. You know, they just would have picked up some fabric and started stitching. Well, that's kind of what I did. I knew I kind of wanted a couple motifs down here. The scripture, be still and know that I am God. And then I put this border around it. I think this is from part of the pattern from Abigail Stone. She did just single stitching and then there's zigzag around the rest of the way. Oh, I'm so sorry that this is not, there's my granddaughter's wedding dress or blessing dress. You can kind of see, there we go. That might be a little bit better if I aim it up like that. Again, Linda Gillian's Primitive Things. The chart is called Abigail Stone. And I want to say it's from here up is Abigail Stone, and then I just kind of winged it for the rest of it. So there's that. I'll put this one over here. And then my last previous stitch. It's from Lottie Da, and it was simply called maybe the Alphabet Sampler. I looked it up. I'll link it across the bottom here too. And I had just framed this myself, and it was in an 8x10 frame. And sorry, it's not ironed, but Lottie Da Alphabet Sampler. And I stitched this in 2008. But I took it out of the frame. You can see how raggy the edges were, but I took it out of the frame because there was no glass or anything. I had just done it myself. But I am going to turn this into a needle book. I'm going to send this off to my finisher, turn it into a needle book. And I dug out from my old Joe Martin fabrics. This is from her Fredericksburg line. I just thought that would go really, really well. And then just a piece of dark green wool for something. And then this is a contrast. So kind of you can see all those. I think that'll make a really pretty needle book. I'll get that sent off this week and get in line to have it done. Okay, some haul, and then at the very end, these really cool, some of my library of my quilting books that I use a lot of. This, I subscribed to the primitive scattered seed samplers once a quarter kit for the year, and this came in the mail, which I'm so glad to have it. It came in one of the USPS envelopes where it had been damaged. It was soaking wet, but luckily Tammy had this all in a plastic envelope, so nothing was damaged. So thank you, Tammy, for that beautiful packaging. And she always does such a great job with her presentation and her floss choices. For any of you who get this, she did put that sticker on the back that 611 and 642 need to be swapped. Just literally take the threads out. One's a grayish and one's a green, a light brown and a light gray, and they just need to be swapped on the needle card, the thread card. So anyway, there's that. I'm running out of room as normal. I picked up a piece. I haven't been buying much fabric lately, but I loved this. I picked up a piece of this from Maggie's on Main, and this is from the new Lisa Bongine line. Primitive Gatherings, Red Work Gatherings. So it's one of her newest lines. But I love this saying in the salvage down here. I'll read it to you, but it's right here in the salvage. It says, "The older I get, the more I realize I just need the simple things in life. A comfy home, good food on the table, and surrounded by fabric I love." And you guys have seen my fabric stash over here. That's uncontrollable. So why I'm buying more fabric, I don't know. But Lisa Bongian's Primitive Gatherings, Heritage Red Work, I think is what I said. Now if I can find it again. Red Work Gatherings, sorry. Red Work Gatherings, Lisa Bongian's new fabric line. It's a pretty piece. All of it's gorgeous, but it was an acquisition. I ordered also from Primitive Gatherings. I needed 2 balls for a punch needle I'm working on of the Valdani. I don't know, one's brick light and brick medium maybe. But because I didn't want this to travel alone, I was asking the lady at the shop what she had. It was pretty new in the shop that maybe, you know, would strike a chord with me. Oh, how could I turn down my Joe? But I was incredibly blessed. My Joe Martin, she's by far my very favorite fabric designer. And her new Hopewell series obviously is out, and I hadn't gotten anything that was of her line yet. My favorite is the honey bun. I love the 1.5 inch strips versus the 2. The jelly roll is fine. Don't get me wrong. If I can get a jelly roll, that's fine too. but I really feel like I've struck it rich when I can find the honey bun. Much narrower strips for a scrappy quilter like I am. These are so, I have very few honey buns. They're hard to come by, but this one I struck out. Here's Joe's picture. I struck it rich that day. Anyway, that came from Primitive Gatherings when I ordered those little Valdani threads. Okay, and the last two, this one came from So Much to Love. This is a project bag, and you're going to hear a lot of crinkling, sorry, because I'm going to open it in front of you. I opened this, the bag part, but this is a fellow Idahoan. She lives in Meridian, Idaho, and I saw this project bag, and I had to have it. I just had to have it. It is sheep, and it's almost like the fabric is watercolor. The sheep are watercolored. It's just beautiful. Look at her label there. But in here, I wanted to open this with you. We're going to hear crinkling here it is. Crinkling for a minute. Her bags have boxed bottoms. Let's look at this first. There's this little packet in here. A cute little wax envelope. So Much to Love, project bags, and so much more. A little card comes with it. My invoice, and then Sunny Orange Ginger Tea. Look at this bag. Box bottoms. Her felt heart on it. This is one of her smaller ones. This is probably going to hold my car projects. I'm not sure. The sheep, I just love the sheep. They're like watercolored. Beautiful. And then the last package I got from Hoop and Frame, and they had been out of hoops for a while, and I finally got my order. I got a small oval. I don't know what shape you'd call that. Oblong. It does say 7 by 5.5 inches square, but I know this isn't square. Anyway, I got that one, and then I got just a round one, and these were all the 5/16. Yeah, this is the 6-inch 5/16 by 6-inch hoop. I also have some of the wider ones, but I totally treated myself to some hoops, and I feel like I'm thinking about retiring at the end of this year, and I want to get the stuff while I can. Okay, let's get rid of the wrinkle. The last thing I want to go over is I have, probably 40 quilting books over here in my stash. But I have some of my favorites, and I don't want to downplay getting anything new, but I cherish my old books. I have some here from Joe Morton. I'll go through them here really quick. Of course, the first one I want to highlight is this one that I worked on in 2019, the 4x5 Quilt Block Anthology. This is by Carol Hopkins and Linda Koenig. And Carol has been instrumental in helping me. I had her permission to do this quilt on, I highlighted it for all of 2019 on my channel here. I took anywhere between 2 and 6 blocks a week and did them. And that's kind of forced me to stay on top of getting this quilt finished. So all the blocks are done, and I'm just down to making some of the half square triangle small blocks at the end, and then this one will be put together, and I will be able to show you guys the quilt top. But this is what I call my lifetime quilt, and I'm really glad I stuck with it. Really, really glad. But Carol also has her Civil War Legacy series. She has 1, 2, 3, and 4. And these, I can look at these just like a cookbook or read like a novel. She has some beautiful, beautiful stuff. Hold these like this. Get the glare off of them. Yeah, this is Civil War Legacy, Civil War Legacies 2, 3, and 4. So here's 1, 2, oh, look at that gold on the front. 3. I Want to Be Immortal. 4. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. And the pictures in some of these. Look at this quilt. They're all just, Civil War is my favorite type of quilting. Okay, the next designer I have a lot of books of is Maggie Bononomy. Another Place and Time. She has some amazing. A Day at Sunnybrook Farm. Thistledown Moon. Nature's Offerings. Oh, Buttonwood Farm. This is strawberry in here. And the other one that just, look at, here's my red and white quilt. She has a blue and white quilt in here. She lives in an older house like I do. My house up here in the mountains is from 1904. The house down in southwestern Idaho is 1940, the house that we just totally remodeled and that's in the orchards. So I love the older patina wood flooring. I love the older stuff. And Maggie has an older home in Missouri that I would love to visit someday. But I have met her. I've been at a class. But she also has Book of Days. This is like a just to make your own Book of Days. Comfort Zone. I have a bed very similar to this. It's just a black 4-poster colonial bed. I loved this here, put on this side. It's just a pin cushion, wool applique. Maggie's style is classic too. None of her stuff ever goes out of sale. I mean, out of style. And then the last one I took down and had it spiral bound because I was doing so many projects out of it with these hands. Just beautiful. Just beautiful. 2 more here and then we'll be done. That's all from Maggie's books. One that I think is highly deserving of mention is from Sarah Maxwell and Dolores Smith. They own Homestead Hearth in Missouri. I think it's Mexico, Missouri. And here's a picture of the quilt store. But this book is called Stash Busters, featuring the controlled scrappy technique, and they're all Civil War style. And this book is, it's not that old. I think you can still get this one. This one is from 2016. Okay. But the ones I want to highlight the most are my Jo books. Jo Morton. I call her my Jo because I just feel like I have met her. I haven't taken a class or anything with her, but I just feel like I am such a kindred spirit with her. 2002, Old is New Again. I could just live on her books too. 2004, Times Past. Look at that. Absolutely beautiful book. Here's one on the back. 2000 and I want to say this one's 2005. Oh yeah. 24. Yeah, 2002. 2004. Kind of goes in order here. This one is 2005. Small Quilts with Vintage Charm. But there's 2 I want to highlight in here that I have cut out. Courthouse Steps Stars. Like this. And the other one, though, that is cut out and half put together, really small. I could probably get this done in a day. Log Cabin with dog tooth border. Absolutely. She's such a brilliant designer, really. Anyway, this one was from 2005, Small Quilts with Vintage Charm. Oh, 2007, this is a little one called Timeless. These quilts on the back. And then the last one that is Over the Moon, Over the Top, over the top. It's from 2008 called Yesterday's Charm. But look at this little house down here. Joe, you are a treasure. All the designers are. I don't really like this, but here's the page on the inside cover, the picture. Simply stunning, ladies. I must have bought this when I was at the quilt store too. The Quilt Crossing. Just beautiful. I hope everyone is having a good summer. My heart goes out to those people in Miami who literally in their sleep lost their homes. So much heartache and tragedy in our world that I feel is so stiff and over digitized right now. It's kind of why I'm taking a social media diet break from Instagram and a few of the other ones. I am on Pinterest, but I've even stopped pinning a little bit there. I'm just trying to give it a break. Let's just put it that way. If you're someplace where it's flooding, my heart goes out to you. If it's someplace where it's really, really hot, like here in the Pacific Northwest, my heart goes out to you. Our stitching can give us comfort. And in times like these, we need to turn inward and stitch what we love. This next coming up weekend is the Blackbird Design Weekend, and I'm going to be stitching on my Birds of a Feather. My 2006, 2005, I get all these dates mixed up all the time, but the one that I have to finish, I want to finish it this summer. We all have blackbirds we can stitch on that bring us joy. But be safe. Take care of yourself. Practice self-care. Enjoy the rest of your summer, and happy 4th of July. If I could say one thing, stitch more and start less. See you next time.